Ooh, woo.
And we will start in 10 seconds on my channel. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Seven,
1,
nine.
and we're set. We're technically live at this point, so Buttons, if you want to do the introduction for your channel first, we can go ahead and do that.
Okay. Hi there, everybody. My name is Button/Coo E, and I have my own channel. It just kind of has art and video gaming and a little bit of drama here and there, but you know what? That's okay.
Hello everybody, my name is Ichabod, and you are once again welcome to Ichadab. Today, on my channel and Buttons' channel, you can tune into either at any point in time. Of course, we have Buttons, who is helping us out with this particular stream. We've got Fable Heart, and then we've got
Hi.
Deja Vu.
I've just been in this place before.
Higher on the street.
He's kicked out.
So welcome to the very first Ichadab-based multi-stream for my channel, and whatever Buttons wants to call it for her channel.
I think I just called it art discussion multi-stream because I'm not very good at creative names.
It does happen. So obviously this isn't like what I normally do for my channel. I do occasionally do the Ichadab shows, but you guys are more used to the political content and all that stuff where we go through the articles. But in this case, we are continuing to do something different here. Hello to Corgi Butt and Flying Falcon in my chat. It is nice to see you both. Corgi Butt, you are also now moderated, as is the way of my channel. Everybody gets mod status unless you screw up, and then nobody trusts you anymore. For some reason, my chat is not visible.
I can see your. Yeah, I can't see your chat on stream. Did you hide the layer?
No, the layer's not. Oh, I know what the friggin' problem is. It's below the background.
God damn it!
Hello, also to
We
Jay
got
the
a real
Magic
trooper
Robot.
here.
Hello. Hello, Corgi Butt, Dan, and Eighth Flame. Thank you for coming to the stream. Hello, Dan.
And whoa, Dan.
God damn it. We're doing ooh now. Ooh.
No, don't do that.
Oh
Oh god, did I tell you about I went on Ethan Ralph's channel I think a week or two ago, and someone got paid in the live stream just for me to say ooh.
Oh, good
Like,
gosh.
everyone was spamming the chat, and now I'm just called the ooh girl.
Oh, people do it to me
Okay.
too.
Oh no.
gosh. Would pay for that.
For that, and as a side note, both in my chat and in my description and in Button's description, there are separate Streamlab links, so if at any time you decide to donate to one of us, please feel free to do so.
Oh, thank you.
So let's kind of get the basic discussion started, because we haven't quite done that yet. Art and brony art, apparently, because like I'm not too versed in it. I'm not part of the brony community. Like, what kind of goes into that? Sorry.
This is the immediate answer.
Let's
the unicorns.
Yes, the unicorns and the pretty ponies. I understand.
Oh, but actually, it also depends on what kind of pony art you want to do, because you could have your own art style, or you could do like vector art, like some people do, like Twist of Fate, Lightning Bliss, Editor. There are people out there who will. Oh yeah, Trailblazer's a good one. I really like his work.
Right? He did the naked chicken picture.
The naked chicken.
It's so weird out of context.
I can't get over. Yeah. Could I ask the story behind the naked chicken?
Of course you can. Okay, so basically, I'm obsessed with birds. I love birds. Birds are like my life. I've had like 5. And I was on Facebook one day, and what is that one? There's like this one like page on Twitter that dedicates themselves to like rescue animals and like really funny like animal videos. I can't believe I'm blanking on the name right now. Dodo.
Oh, the dodo. I
Yeah,
know them.
yeah, and I saw this like video on this naked lovebird. Like she lost all her feathers due to disease, and so fans donate sweaters to her. And I wanted her so badly. I was freaking out in a call, and Trail basically made a vector of me and that bird because he just hears in the background, "I love this naked chicken," and he's like, "What?" And I was just freaking out for like an hour. I was just like, "Oh my god." So he basically did that for me, and I was crying for a good 30 minutes. I loved it so much. But yeah, that's the story.
That's
Fair enough.
beautiful.
I'm a sap for birds. I can't.
So, like, what got you guys into art? Let's.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Wants to go
Well,
first?
for me, I'll go first. Yeah, for me it was more. For me, it was more of like I kind of got into YouTube to kind of help with my speech impediment because if you watch a lot of my videos, you might actually realize that I stutter a lot, and and it's something I can't help. So I actually got into the YouTube. So I actually like stepped into YouTube to kind of like help with that, and
Hmm.
like a lot of people seem to think, oh, that's great. Oh, that's great that she's not letting a disability stop her from and and of course I have had bullies, but I don't really care what they think about me.
Hmm.
So I really just didn't think of like see that I wanted to see that I wanted to do, and I based my OC off of the character of Applejack, who's one of the main characters in the show, because in the South I'm a country girl at heart, so that's what my main style came from. The bow represents that I'm a kid at heart, and I became a unicorn. I made my OC a unicorn mostly because I didn't want to be called a recolor of Applejack, because I'm not. And the red in my main is actually reminiscent of my other OC that I kind of just like stopped using, but I didn't want her to like, but I didn't want to like just drop her completely. So I actually like worked into the story, or so I actually worked into my character's backstory, how I got I kind of like combined the two OCs together. So
Kind of like a fusion. A fusion, not Fusion himself.
Kind of like if my boyfriend were here, he would actually explain that his OC is a Thestral changeling hybrid.
I I'm remiss to say, like, I'm not a brony. I don't like know a whole lot about the show myself, so like I don't know what any of those words mean.
A Thestral is a Thestral is a bat pony. Like have you ever seen the Harry Potter series?
Yeah, I have seen the Harry Potter series.
Okay, remember Okay, remember the bat like horses that were carrying
Yeah.
in
No, I know
the
what you're talking
Epsilon?
about now. Yeah.
That's the best girl. And then a changeling is it. And then a changeling is a race that's in the show that's part bug and part bug part horse. Basically, its OC is a changeling tail.
Mm-hmm. That's
Ooh,
fair enough. Huh? I heard an oof out of nowhere. Is everybody okay?
oh yeah, totally. I mean, she just beat me to the punchline that Buttons is a cute change.
Hey,
Oof.
You are.
I'm not cute.
You are. You're a little cinnamon roll.
Mm,
Oof. So what about you?
You can call me Sam.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I keep spacing on Deja Vu.
It's
So
okay.
Sam. So what about you, Sam? What got you into stuff like art and stuff?
Mine's sort of very interesting. I mean, I guess it's interesting, but it's not like inspirational like that. I just want to say, Fable, that's amazing. Just gonna tell you that right now. Um, I respect that very much. Let's see. Oh my god. Okay, so initially I got into the fandom for voice work. Actually, I wasn't starting out as a VA.
Mhm.
No, as an artist. And I basically kind of was noticing that people were commissioning art of their OCs. And after I had my OC made, I kind of made it on Pony Creator. Yeah, I was that type of person. And people decided to start drawing her and basically kind of working with it, with their design and everything. And I kind of wanted more art in that spectrum of her. So instead of like being a normal person and like asking for commissions, I was a dumb 13-year-old and I was asking for artists to do it for free, not knowing that it was wrong. So like they politely be like, "Sorry, I don't do requests." And I'm like, "Requests? What else is there?" And they're like introducing me to commissions and I was like, "Oh, well, I don't have money." but 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 like that's cool. So I actually started to draw like because I didn't want to have to pay people, not because I don't want to support their artwork, but because
I love the
it's not
excuses coming out right now.
oh my god.
it's not because I don't want to commission artists. I was young, I was cringy, I was dumb, and I was like, I should just start drawing. So I guess around area of 2016, when I was like 15 years old, I decided to start doing digital artwork. Whereas like in 2014 area, 2015 area, I was doing just like scribbles on paper. And then it kind of just progressed because people were telling me you can do this. I wanted to give up a ton because I was like trying to make these characters and I love making characters personally. So I was just trying really hard to improve on my style. And at first I was doing it on an iPad and then I moved to a tablet and then I moved to a actual PC that I have right now. Definitely the motivation kept me going to where I actually was able to open my own commissions. And let me tell you, at first they were so overpriced. I look at them and I like cry because of how overpriced they are. Like I remember I was selling sketches for $15. I was like, "Who are you? Like what are you doing?" But I gradually got better and better, and I decided, wow, art's a really big moneymaker. So I got more and more into practice and was drawing a lot of friends' OCs. And, you know, I usually just draw people that I really love, like Buttons, for example. I made them a really cute OC, you know, badge and whatever. You should check me out. But you should check out my DA. No, but like I was really in it for the clout. I was in it for the money. But gradually, then I kind of realized that making characters is a magical thing, and I started making more and more characters as it progressed. So it was kind of an adventure to sum it up from Pony Creator to drawing really cringy stuff on paper. I have some really funny like drawings that I did a way back when that I could share with you guys. It's really funny. And then I moved on from like gradually increasing my efforts to try to get better to like getting better devices. And now I just do it for fun mainly, but I also do it for money. And you know, it was a fun journey.
So, from my chat, Red Robot says, Red Robot in the MLP world would be a goofy contraption that has a pirate radio station somewhere in the clouds.
That sounds amazing.
Doesn't it? Like, if you've never heard Red Robot's voice, he's got a voice for radio, and unfortunately, he also thinks he's got a face for radio.
Oof.
Hey, that's his opinion. I just think he looks like a young Gary Gygax.
Who's that?
He was one of the most influential people for Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a whole different kind of nerd.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. If Silver was here, and the minute you said Dungeons and Dragons, like you could like Dungeons and Dragons for hours with you, Ichabod. I'm not even kidding.
Red is most definitely an individual to talk with about stuff like D&D, because the man is a genius with it. I don't know how he had the time or the energy to learn as much as he did, but he's even right now writing a book for a homebrew campaign.
If you Ichabod, if you were to ever like get into the show or watch a couple of episodes, that there is a Dungeons and Dragons based episode.
I have heard stories about it, and I do recall that. It's just like, I've never watched the show. It's not really ever been my thing. It's I like the ideals behind it, but the show itself has not been my cup of tea.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, that's understandable.
Like, I'm a weeb. I like anime.
Hey.
Hey, hi.
What are some of the what are some of the more underrated animes that you've seen?
Underrated? Well, if we're going with underrated,
Yeah, like it.
I don't.
Like ones that are not as known, but like really really good. Like My Bride is a Mermaid.
Well, see, I was always a fan of the slice of lifestyle animes like Lucky Star, Panty Pony Dash, Azumanga even Isekai Quartet that's recently come out has been really interesting. The only problem with Isekai Quartet is you also have to watch Overlord. You have to watch the Saga of Tanya the Evil. You have to watch one that I can't find, the one with Rem and Rom in it. Like, you have to watch all these others to get the feel for the characters. But if you've even just watched one or two of the actual animes that are brought into it, it's a really fun time, because you just get to sit there and see these characters interact in a completely different universe.
Yeah, I've always been a fan. Yeah, I've always been a fan of like the like I've always been a fan of like the like animes that are like action based, comedy based, and are not over 600 episodes, because that's the one thing that drives me insane is like
One Piece.
When they drag an like when they drag like an anime out for like so long, it's like, come on, you guys.
Just find the One Piece so this can end.
I can never get into Naruto, Bleach, One Piece.
See,
I can get into Fairy Tail though.
See, I would suggest,
but not any of those.
If you're looking for an anime to watch, go ahead and check out Overlord, One Punch Man, oh god, what was the other? And the Saga of Tanya the Evil, because they are action-based. There's a little bit of comedy tossed in there. The Saga of Tanya the Evil is a much darker setting, but Overlord and One Punch Man have that levity without being too intense.
like the last anime my boyfriend and I watched together was How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, and
Oh god, I've been watching that one and I didn't want to mention it. For so many reasons.
I can understand. Fable tried showing it to me, and I was like, I'm just gonna nope on out of this
Yeah,
window.
no, it's a very
I did
uncomfortable
not.
anime.
I did not. Yeah, I did not realize it was gonna be like that bad for you, Buttons. I'm sorry.
It's okay,
Oh no,
I understand.
it gets bad, but one of the other one that gets that bad, because How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, fair enough, that one's bad. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? A little bit worse.
Like,
Oh
my
no.
God. Like I read that. Yeah, like I read that title and I'm like, yep, I'm staying far away from this anime as possible.
Well, like, the thing about is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon is it tones down the, like, outright overt sexuality of How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, but it's just chock full of depressing things.
And one favorite line from How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is this one. To the power of, oh hell no. I heard that and it's like I had to pause the episode because my boyfriend and I were laughing so hard.
Honestly, that does sound pretty funny.
It's like just the scenario that they were in. I don't want to mention it because of like because of the contents of the scenario, but it's just like, oh my god, they really went there.
Alright, fine, Optimus. Praise Doug. There you go.
Who's Doug?
Do you remember the old 90s cartoon TV show Doug?
Oh my god, yes.
I don't think I ever watched it.
There's a guy who comes into my chat called Optimus Christ, and his catchphrase after a playthrough of Soma, he named what Markiplier named Bubble Butt. He ended up naming it Doug, and Doug ends up saving him like 5 or 6 times in the stream. And eventually he's just like, praise Doug! And he just ran with it.
That's beautiful.
Like, so anytime he pops up in the chat, you'll hear me go, praise Doug!
Praise Doug!
Anyway, so we were briefly discussing before we got into the actual stream and the art stuff what everybody's plans were for BronyCon. Does anybody want to discuss what they're going to be doing?
I'll be honest, I don't really have a set exact plan. We kind of have like a couple ideas. Like we know that before the actual convention, we're gonna go to the Edgar Allan Poe Museum, the aquarium. One of my other friends wants to pick me up and take me for ramen, because they live nearby.
Well, about going to the aquarium, Buttons. It's I looked up the price of the tickets. It's pretty expensive. So we would have to talk about that as like, you know, the 4 of us.
Oh yeah, definitely. If we can't afford it, that's understandable.
It's $40 per person.
Oh god, no, god.
But the museum is only $8.
Yeah, we could definitely do the museum.
And then whenever we get there, like Wednesday nights, I know Silver wants to watch Cats, since both you and our other roommate has never seen Cats before.
I've never seen Cats the musical. I am ashamed as a musical fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
I also have some other friends I'm gonna meet up with. I'm really excited about. I'm nervous about like a lot of things, but you know, that's just general anxiety. Like, am I gonna have enough money? Obviously. I'm just excited but anxious at the same time. I guess, in the words of Pinkie Pie, I'm nervous-sighted.
Nervous-sighted.
I'm gonna be passing it. passing out the badge tags that I've made over that I made over the course of like a half.
You have a lot of them.
Oh God, yes. It's like, yeah. I'm like actively on Twitter, asking people, okay, who's going to BronyCon and who isn't, so I can figure out which ones to bring and which ones I can leave home.
Basically, me asking, so who can laminate and who can't?
It's like, Skypaw, I'm definitely bringing yours. Buttons, I'm bringing a few. I'm bringing only 2 out of like the 18 ones that I did for you.
I'm so sorry. I've made a lot of characters.
It's fine. But yeah, I hand draw badge tags for people, and like, you know, I do them free of charge, mainly because reasons. And I would fit, and you know, I would feel bad charging for stuff that I do for therapy. Also, so, you know, also another reason why I don't charge for it is the you know, the characters that I'm drawing, they're not mine. So characters, so I would feel, so, you know, I would feel bad charging for.
No, that makes sense.
I made badge tags for friends, and like, I didn't charge for it because they're gifts to thank everyone for being supportive of me with like my illness and stuff this year. Like, it's been one hell of a year, so I'm like, I've been a horrible, depressing mess of miserable, and everyone's put up with me. I'm making free badge tags.
Oh man, I'm looking through my I'm looking through my art right now, and I'm looking through my art right now, and I found like this piece of artwork that I did a while back. Do you guys remember this?
Let me put on my. Oh, I do. I remember.
Aw, that's adorable.
Buttons is.
Say again. Did I lose connection?
Fable.
Hello? Oh, okay.
Skypaw, Massacre Molly, and Summer Bunch.
Oh,
Okay.
that's so cute. I haven't seen that.
I remember this. That was
if you'd like, I can bring it up on the stream.
Yeah, I just don't have it signed.
Yeah, so this art was done by Fable Heart. Please don't steal.
That works.
Please don't steal
Yeah,
it.
I remember you made that for me when like stuff was going really bad in December and October. Issues we won't discuss here.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a sweet piece of art. There's been like a lot of art made. That's like something that's great about being an artist with art friends, is giving each other art is amazing. Just seeing people happy when you give them art.
Amen.
But then like you don't expect it, and then people are like, "Hi, I give you art." I'm like, but why?
What the heck?
Like,
What are you doing?
Why would you do such a thing? There is
like,
problems here.
Yeah, like I think I actually said, yeah, like if I remember correctly, Buttons, the very first badge tag I made for you, I made you cry.
You actually no, I'm not like, I think I was in call and you just I broke down. I had crybaby bitch disease.
Thing wants to play this game with me. I go the roundabout method.
Oh no!
Sorry, it's not loading, so I'm just gonna open it through Paint and like do it that way, because
that's fine.
sometimes there's just gotta be a way to do this. So I'll just take a screenshot,
Yeah.
put it in Paint, do it that way, and then pull it up because it wants to be a pain in my neck.
Oh wait, did I say how I became an artist actually? Because it's a pretty funny story.
Go ahead. It'll take me a minute to get this pulled up anyway.
So, like, I think it was. I've always drawn throughout my entire life since I was a child, and I loved watching Disney movies and reading stories and watching Pokemon. And I wanted my own characters. I'm like, I really like these. I really like Pokemon. I want to draw these, but I wanted to like mess with the colors a bit, like with those DeviantArt kids when they made Pokemon and made them different than the actual Pokemon. So what I would do is when I was like 6 or 7, I'd take the VHS covers of Pokemon and trace over them and draw my toys and stuff. And I'd make little stories and characters, but they would always be dogs and cats, just with cute little Disney character names. Like I remember specifically one I really wanted as an actual pet in real life.
It is.
She was like a Dalmatian with a pink collar and diamonds and a heart-shaped tag named Sparkles.
That's adorable. So there is the picture that Fable put in here. I know at least 3 of them.
Okay, so the blue one on the bottom right is our friend Spoken Mind. The pink and blue one is my old Kieran OC. The purple one's Fable. The middle one above mine is Summer Sketch. And the one next to her is Massacre Molly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the brown one is Sammy.
Fair enough.
Hello.
I'll go back to
The
this.
precious bean. The precious naked chicken loving bean.
The naked chicken lover. Goodness gracious.
I'm dying right now. You know what's funny is when I
about that recently.
I think what's funny is I had a drama with someone last month and they got so mad at someone they called them a lying turkey fucker.
What?
That's an insult to turkeys.
I don't know why.
Like, all I'm imagining now is just somebody coming up and be like, I am not a cook.
Sweetie Belle.
Basically, this person got really mad because they were called a slug. And they replied by sending a child, like, NSFW content and, like, take this line, turkey fucker. Oh, wait, you're a kid.
Oof.
It was so funny, though.
Lying turkey fucker.
I know. It's great.
There you go, folks. Now you've got a new insult to use on your friends. Lying turkey fucker.
The people I've encountered are interesting. I remember I was watching my friend's art stream the other day, and I was just so tired, and everyone's like, and she's like, and they were like, I wonder why people like my art. I'm like, because it's so smooth, the bitch loves butter.
To be fair, there's some butter-based bitch slapping going on. Alliteration!
Oh god.
Butter.
I found out recently that apparently people love my voices, and I don't know why.
Oh my god, do Shrek, please.
No, please, man.
Which Shrek? There was many Shreks.
OxyClean.
Yeah,
What?
OxyClean.
OxyClean. God damn it.
Keeps the tough stains out.
Keep the tough stains out! Get the OxyClean with the power of oxygen! And get it done right!
Okay, I'm not gonna. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. That actually sounds more. That actually sounds more like David Tennant's Scrooge McDuck than Shrek.
Ooh.
Oof. I've got an attack! I've been hit, ladies and gentlemen! Oh no! It's not like I could just suddenly scream, "Get out of my swamp!"
Basically, we were all in call last night, like, because it was sad boy hours, and we all cheering up, and he just breaks out the Shrek voice out of fucking nowhere, and then Skypaw over here is like, please, please, I will pay you to record the flexing commercial.
Breathe.
I will record you to record the flexing commercial in the Shrek
Flex
voice
Seal.
of we were flexing.
Buttons.
To demonstrate the sealing power of Flex Seal, I sawed this boat in half! God. It's like one of my least polished voices too.
It's so good though. You
Button.
can have an entire channel.
I know how to get you.
Yeah.
I know how to get you on the floor dying.
Oh no.
I am the Lizard Queen. Oh, fabulous!
Oh my god.
I love that one. Lizard Queen.
I'm dead Scoob. I'm dead in this chili.
It could always
I
be
said
worse,
that to
Buttons.
I sent that to Buttons like 2 days ago, and they were on the floor dying because okay, first of all, I managed to break the umbrella, and then secondly, how did he without looking throw the umbrella handle up in the air and it land on his wrist without him even looking?
Yeah, no, like basically what happened is it was a TikTok Vine thing, and like this guy stormed in the room with an umbrella and saying something in an Irish accent. The umbrella broke, shot across the room, and then he threw it up in the air and the handle landed on his wrist perfectly, and I was like on the floor. I remember me and Ichabod. Should we talk about the wonderful cursed blessing we've watched?
Oh God, Puka.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. It's not
Oh,
like they're
God.
kicking down our door going,
Oh
"I
no!
want to play a game."
No, it's so much worse, Sam.
Go
Like,
ahead.
okay.
Okay, I watched the ending explain of that video, and through the entire time of me watching that video on Foundflix, I was like, what the fuck were they smoking when they thought
Okay.
of this?
Okay.
Consider this concept the greatest line that we ever said during watching that entire movie was the phrase, "Huh, that is a full-grown African-American man wearing a mascot helmet just furiously masturbating in a corner."
Oh no, yeah, it was really, they just threw that in there out of city. That was the most disturbing part of the movie. And that shouldn't have been. It's a horror movie.
It was just because it was so sudden.
Yeah, okay. So the movie is like this bad ad, like this guy who's an actor, and apparently we just see him going about his day, going on the bus, looking like he's internally screaming 24/7 in a coffee shop, drinking a cup of coffee. And then, like, he finds an ad for a mascot costume or whatever for a toy company. And he goes to the audition and they have him do this dance. Like, he's supposed to make a triangle, put his hands out, fly like a plane, turn around, repeat. And they give him the job and he's like puts the mask on and has breathing issues for some reason. Like he's dying of like heart failure or something. Like coughing and wheezing, and then he's like, I can't do this, I'm not doing this, fuck this. Like, oh, I'm sorry, do we talk about numbers? Hi, okay. And the guy gets a job. He gets a girl, like he falls in love with a girl or something, whatever, picking out a Christmas tree with her son. And it's all weird at first, and he meets this lady across the hall with a red light. I remember seeing the door with the red light and thinking, that's probably a strip club. Like, I remember. But
Oh my god.
yeah, no, that was just my first, like, my first reaction was, is that like a strip club or something? What's going on? And he goes, it's like this lovely old lady with red hair and like just drinking a cup of wine or whatever. And
Like my personal opinion, horror movies and horror movies and the holiday of Christmas just don't mix. It's like,
oh,
Oh
hi.
wow,
Movie about-
it's Lord Cancer, Senor del Cancer. I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, he's in my stream.
Yeah, no, he is a troll, but he's a funny troll and a respectful troll. Lord Cancer, Senor del Cancer is decent enough people.
Lord Cancer, Senor del Cancer.
Mr.
I
of
love
the
it.
Cancer,
Sounds
yeah.
like a mouthful.
It's a certain person we didn't like talking about earlier.
Fair enough.
But the movie was really weird. There was like nothing explained to us, and it was out of nowhere every time. Like the guy would be perfectly fine, and then he'd be wearing the mascot outfit, punching a wall till his knuckles bleed, and then apparently he doesn't remember, or apparently it wasn't actually him, it was never explained.
Yeah, it wasn't
And-
really well explained.
And then there was just, what do I call it? There was this other version of the mascot in hell
No,
with like fire in his eyes, going to
hey,
town on a
Ichabod,
bed.
Yeah.
Look who's in the chat right now.
Yeah, no, I see him there.
Better to just
Yeah.
pay them no mind.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
Don't feed the trolls. Hi,
That's why
Glitch.
I didn't say anything.
Hi, Fluffin.
Anyway.
Think of
But
purple
yeah, no,
butt.
like, the entire movie was just a detachment from reality. It was really hard to follow.
It
And
was a drug trip without the drugs.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, like, there are certain, there are like just certain movies that are like that are like, or you have to question. To question the like insanity that is whoever made this, like you know what I mean. It's like those movies are like, what the hell? Oh, what the hell was the guy who made this smoking?
Basically,
a whole lot of
you just have this
hallucinogens.
constant concerned look of, are you okay? Do you need a hug?
Like the best part about it is through the entire movie, this guy's got like, but why face. Like I don't know if you know what but why face is, but
Oh my god, he just looked like he was in 24/7. The part that weirded me out too is he went to the coffee shop and on the bus with just the mascot suit on for no reason. Like he's just sitting there getting a cup of coffee in the mascot suit.
oh god, Rackus is calling me daddy.
Oh no! Please
Hi,
no.
Rackus.
There you go.
And somebody violated the rules, so they're gone.
What did they say?
I was just bringing up what we were talking about earlier.
Okay. I'll just.
Amigo.
So yeah, no, you are now permanently hidden from my chat. Sorry.
Same.
I don't play that game. I said I don't play games. When you want to act like an adult, you can come back. Moving on.
Unless it's Yahtzee. Unless it's Yahtzee.
Unless it's Yahtzee. Oof.
Oh, another thing for those of you in the chat who don't know, if you remember the Banana Splits show, they're making a they're making a Five Nights at Freddy's style horror movie of it. They have the licensing for it. It's rated R.
Just as a note, Rackus, you still owe me a game of Brawlhalla, so don't keep skirting me on that.
What's Brawlhalla?
It
Oh
is
my
a
god,
free to
Silver's
play.
got that.
It's a free to
Brawlhalla.
play Smash Brothers clone.
Great.
Ooh, I love Smash Bros.
You play as like instead of playing as like Nintendo characters, you play as like different mythical creatures.
Oh, okay.
And like, there's a Valkyrie, there's a Viking, a werewolf. It's clearly a Khajiit,
I like
but
the
they don't call it a Khajiit.
Khajiit swears if you have coin?
Khajiit swears if you have the coin.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
yes,
God.
do not test my Khajiit voice. I do it quite well.
My boyfriend actually found a mod on Skype where you can play as a predator from the Alien versus Predator franchise.
Hmm.
and it is like my boyfriend's playing doing a run through of Skyrim as a predator, and it's so much fun because they like the person that made the mod added like different added like the xenomorphs, the pred aliens, and like other predators in the game itself. But and even put lore behind it, so it's not just like a reskin mod. It actually has some lore behind it, and it's so much fun.
Fair enough. No, that sounds pretty neat. God, I forgot what my next question was. I completely lost it in the ether of Puka and.
I'm sorry.
No, it's just it just poofed out of my brain. So has anybody
Pineapple on
here
pizza. No, I'm kidding.
seen the Saga of Tanya the Evil besides me?
I have not.
Well, there was a lot of hype around it because, like, they had thought that Tanya was, like... I don't even know how to explain it. They called her Nazi. But the thing of it is... Yes! No, technically, yes, it is a Nazi because it's an alternate version of Earth where the main area is the spread from, basically their version of Germany. So it's very different, and you have to look at it through a certain state of mind of, this is an entertainment thing. It's not intentional.
No, I understand. Like, they make movies about war all the time. Like, there was a movie and there was a book I read as a kid about Nazi Germany, and I can't remember. I think it was like Counting the Stars or something like that. It was about a little girl in Germany who went to the countryside with her family. There was also like Sarah's Key. But I understand there's concepts and content of media that make Nazi Germany based stories just because it is a very emotional time and you can make a lot of different stories from it. I've kind of been writing a story since I was like 13 for it, kind of, but also with the version of Death as a Person. Basically, Death was a girl who was the firstborn child of Adam and Eve, and Satan got jealous for some reason. And so he put a curse that whenever she touched someone, she would, put them to sleep permanently, thus the version of death. And God, to prevent this, made it so she couldn't be seen or heard or felt. Basically, she had to suffer through society alone until in Nazi Germany, she meets a boy named Kaiser. However, in Nazi Germany in history, there was a thing called the hidden children. They basically had to dress as the opposite gender and go kind of undercover into society and hide away under a false identity. And he becomes Kiefer, and she becomes a girl and over time and meets death because of all the death surrounding her through Germany and the illness in her family and such, and she finds solace with death and they become friends and eventually become like brother and sister. But a fact about death is the reason Satan got jealous because Satan and Eve dated at one point, but she left him for Adam, so Death was like supposed to be his kid, so he saw her as his right, and eventually the seven deadly sins, which are his other children, her older siblings, kind of abandon him and help Death break her curse.
Oh, that's really cool.
I've been writing it since I was 13. The problem is I have the concept, but writing the chapter is just really hard.
Buttons. If you need help with it, with any form of writing, you can always ask Silver to help you out with that.
Yeah, I might try that sometime. It's again like it's still a work in progress, but it's a work that I've been really like. I have to study like history and religion to kind of be accurate, so I don't insult anyone if I get anything wrong. Kind of.
like as a writer myself, I've always been I've always been like fascinated with with like different scenarios of things like my like my most popular story that my friends have written pretty much is about how how monsters have always existed, but they're treated differently from humans because they're afraid.
Mm.
Uh, and so I always think of of like different scenarios. Like one of the characters that I have in that story, she's a spider lady. I forget what the Japanese term for that. Uh,
Um,
uh, something
I
like that.
remember. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They had that was as a boss in Okami. I remember
But
playing
yeah,
that.
but I have yeah, but I ha- yeah, but I have her as a seamstress because growing up I always thought okay if certain animals have human jobs, what would they be good at? Spiders spiders make things with their with the webs and strings, so when they can like make clothes. So, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And even like and even Silver writes his own stories. He writes stories about Star Wars and stuff because he's a huge Star Wars nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Fan fiction for the win.
And I'm a tiny potato. I
So, yeah.
got.
Shut up.
Okay.
Mm.
Deal.
So, when it comes down to the concept of art, a lot of people have like the first Ichadab episode that I had done was based around somebody called Patchwork Art, and they had a story about how they who influenced them to get into art. In their case, it was their grandmother, and in my case, it was also my grandmother. But it is interesting to kind of get that perspective from artists.
My inspiration was actually my family. My entire family is like a bunch of artists. Like, my aunt went to art school, so I would constantly get art supplies for graduating different areas of grades. Like, for high school, I got Copic markers. Middle school, I got Prismacolor, colored pencils, and such forth. But my brother has to probably be the biggest inspiration because he constantly draw anime pictures of me as a little girl and Pokemon and different animal stuff. So um basically basically I would like wake up with drawings at the end of my bed every day, and I would look at his drawings and try to draw as good as him. My brother is probably one of the biggest inspirations for me, if not my aunt, because she makes crafts all the time. She made my own dollhouse out of wood and made like little glass furniture and stuff from things from Michael Depot. She would make different, like, everyone in my family is a musician, a cook, an artist of some sort.
I think for me, my biggest inspiration was just like was just more or less trying to escape reality because unfortunately the relationship that I was in before Silver was a very toxic and abusive one. I actually met Silver trying to escape that relationship, and right around the time that my relationship turned toxic, was when I found the show and I found the fandom. So that was more. So the so the show was sort of was sort of my escape from the reality that I put myself in. So I think just just surviving a toxic and abusive relationship was my inspiration, and I have I help those that have been in that situation, or going through that situation entirely. Like my what we're probably the biggest. We're probably we'll be anyone we'll be anyone's. We'll be there for if you need someone to talk to, or if you just need someone to listen or be a shoulder to cry on. That's what we are to Buttons.
Gosh. That was actually really sweet. I really like that. I'm glad you're doing that for people. Mine's kind of controversial now, I guess, but my inspiration was Jitterbug Jive. I really liked their work. When I first got into the fandom, their Discorded Hooves Tumblr was actually what inspired me to kind of a bit and kind of begin to progress in art. But I guess that's all I'll say about that now, considering.
No, I know. I know. He was my inspiration to get into the fandom too.
It's tough, but yeah. I artist, and I wanted to draw like them because I was mad petty. Basically, it was like, don't you dare be better than me.
I feel like that's honestly they have an art idol, and they're like, but I want to be like I think my biggest inspiration were T Sugar Stars, Lobotomy, and Jitterbug. Lobotomy is probably a big one too, actually. As far as brony inspiration, like inspiration for being an artist in general has to go to like my family, but a brony artist is Jitterbug Jive, as horrible as things have gotten recently with the news. But your inspiration is still your inspiration. Someone could still be a very talented Hi, are you crashing the stream, kitty? Yeah.
Please tell me she's sitting like a human.
No, she's just being little moto chunky walking around.
Cat.
Oh yeah, my two cats are like like walking around my bed, and like like every time their tail brushes up against my back, I'm like,
God.
I wish I could have cats back home. Ugh.
But yeah, I was saying though, still be very talented even if you find something out about them. And it's very heartbreaking when you find out an idols of yours has done something, but at the same time, yeah.
Could not eat. But yeah, basically that was my inspiration. I found someone who was really good, and I was like, how dare you? No, that's not happening.
That's like everyone who finds inspiration. They're just like, but I want to be as good as you. No, I want to be better.
Exactly.
So that way you'll notice me.
I'm gonna be your competition. And I mean, I'm getting there. I'm
Notice
getting
them.
there. Senpai.
Oh, goodness gracious. So we're coming about up on the hour mark. Usually my streams will last between 1 to 2 hours. If you guys are good with where we are in the discussion, we can end it here soon once we pass the hour mark, or we can go a bit longer if you want.
What do you guys feel?
Go soon because the family here turns off their Wi-Fi, so I'll probably have to head out soon. But I'm good now.
Yeah, maybe we should like wrap it up in a bit then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
probably.
let's give it about 10 more minutes. Let everybody go. Well, on my channel, I have everybody like talk about their stuff before I go.
My Brony Spectre is in chat. Scream pod, more pod. Brony Spectre, you should have gotten here earlier, dude.
Okay. Wait, that sounds wrong. Wait.
So, let's go ahead and lead out with a final question. So the show's ending very soon. It's getting
Okay.
close to that point where the fandom will start to die down, and stuff like commissions and art and stuff like that for it is going to start to die down. Do you guys have any plans after the show's, everything starts to die down and like work starts getting scarce?
Well,
Honestly,
do you mind if I go?
honestly, like in my opinion, the well, even the even though the show is ending and this and the final BronyCon is happening next week, that I don't think people are gonna stop talking about like the show and everything because
Mhm.
because the thing because the thing about shows ending is that there's if they don't answer all of the questions, it's
Yeah,
still
the fandom
it's
lives
still up
on.
to it's still up for interpretation. For instance, Star versus the Force of Evil ended a month ago, but they still left some questions unanswered.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have an example. Gravity Falls ended in I want to say 2016, and they're still kind of going strong.
Yeah.
Well, it's more the factor of like there will be new people coming into it, but not as many as before. It's just like the idea of, is there a backup plan if things start going south?
Definitely. I know. I've already kind
You're
of
not
gone
wrong
to that
about
backup
furries.
plan.
I'm drifting in there. I'm drifting.
For me,
Um,
for me it's for me it's for me and Silver, we are in a lot of other fandoms. So, we're part of the Miraculous fan club. We're part.
Hello.
Hello?
She had the same thought I did. Damn.
hello.
I think that I think that I think that as long as there's like other fandoms that uh people can people will still we'll still love we'll still love the show dearly, but we'll also like move on to other things.
Yeah, I think my backup plan has been furry this entire time. Like I think it's safe to say I've kind of already slightly moved over that place. I'm just like, I have a persona, and I also kind of want to be like a storytime animator, like Jaden Animations and Wolfie Chew and those guys.
Mhm.
Rebecca
Oh my
Parham
god.
with the with Let Me Explain Studios?
Oh, definitely, 100%. Like, I really want to be like them because I know my stories of my life are definitely darker than most, but, like, I think that it could give insight because I remember Illuminations when she came out about her story about being, like, a victim of pedophilia or sexual harassment in her workplace. Yeah, they were dark, but damn, did those help me get through some hard times. And I kind of want to be that light for that person. Like, there's a thing I kind of always have lived by. I won't get into it, but I was a foster kid and went through some child abuse. And there was a project we had in middle school about if you could choose any foundation to advertise for, what would it be? And I chose foundations against child abuse. And there was a poem I had to give with it. And a poem I found online was about giving a child a teddy bear. And when you give the child the teddy bear, it's their best friend because they have nothing at home. And I kind of want to be that person to give someone their teddy bear, so to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
for-
want to help somebody find that,
Solace if
that's,
they have no one else.
yeah,
Yeah, for
that,
me,
that
Sweet.
extra person. Kind of like what Jaden does.
for
Oh,
me, yeah, for me, like I can I can talk about I can talk about what I've been through with my previous relationship now because I've had almost 5 years to recover from that, but also for about my dad my dad worked as a detective against child abuse cases, and whenever he would bring me into work, I would sit with a lot of the child abuse victims and actually help them open up because a lot of the times that they were really scared to that they were really scared because they're in this place with like a bunch of adults, and they have to tell what happened to them, and for a child that's scary sometimes. So
yeah.
having having someone close to their age, just like help them, talk uh talk and everything, like you're having a conversation with a friend, really does help sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so it looks like everybody does have their backup plan, which is a good idea, even if the fandom continues out into infinity. It's always good to have that backup plan, not necessarily because it's going to dry up, but because it's possible. And a lot of people don't plan enough for the future. A lot of people get trapped in with certain kinds of content, certain types of particular work or a job that they just get too comfortable in, and they don't take those risks to better themselves. So my advice for the people listening on my channel, and I suppose for Buttons as well, always go for the risk. Sometimes it's going to pay off and sometimes it won't. But to live your life without regrets is to live your life to the fullest.
Yeah, and then what? Yeah, and then what? Yeah, and then what I want to add to this is if you're going if you you know if you're going through
Hello?
more like you're uh like uh uh, I'm here, you're scared, or you're in or you're in an abusive situation, talk to someone about it, because like it's only gonna get worse, and often than not, sadly, sometimes if about it, sometimes help comes too late.
Yeah, it does sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, to not end on that depressing note, does anybody want to talk about their channel very briefly before we cut this off at about an hour and 10 minutes?
I do art. Please
Well,
follow my DA.
Check down in the description to find Deja Vu's deviant art.
Every time
there.
you say deja vu, I can't help but think of it. The meme.
Deja Vu.
It's literally the reason why I named myself that.
I love you, Sky.
All right, so
and
Fable,
then
do you want to briefly talk about your channel and stuff?
I do a lot of random stuff on my channel. Up until recent up until recently up until recently I had a rant series called beating a dead horse
I love that.
where I would just talk about like where I would just like rant and rave about like different things, mostly drama in the fandom. But nowadays, nowadays I mostly do like videos about my stories and everything. For Mother's Day, I did a top 30 moms of animation video, which which that in itself was a major headache. um most recently I did a video that had like my videos that I did on my TikTok. Those are pretty funny.
Alrighty. Buttons, do you want to tell my channel about your channel?
Hi. So my channel name is actually Coo E. Basically it stands for Creations Out of Eden because I go by Eden. And I don't really do anything specific on my channel. I'm trying to find where I am placing myself. I'm trying to lean towards art streams, animation, and story times. I've had a few drama videos on there because I did feel these topics were extremely important. But as far as my content, I have a few animatic, one storytime video. Basically, recently I've been extremely physically ill, and I had to go through quite a journey to figure out what the hell was going on with my body. And even then, they got it wrong until yesterday. Finally, we got some answers.
Healthcare.
Yeah, no, healthcare sucks. I've been practicing a lot of different video, but due to the fact of my physical illness, I haven't made much content just because of lack of energy and everything. But you know, I'll take it as it goes and stretch my wings a bit. And
Yeah.
oh, thank you for the new subscribers.
And
I just had two people subscribe to my YouTube, which finally put me at over 200 subscribers. So thank you for that.
Oh my god, yay, people!
All right. And for Buttons' channel, I will go ahead and talk about mine. I heads up, I am a little bit high energy when I do the channel thing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am Ichabod Orange. I do quite a few different things with my channel. I do gaming streams, I do discussion streams, and of course, the wonderful show of Citrus Quest, which is an open platform for anybody of any ideology, any particular political leaning, and any type of discussion to come on and be able to have that time where they can discuss whatever they really want to. I am boring, more or less, most of the time, but I do attempt to entertain you guys. It is absolutely worth it, and yes, TM Writer, that was a New Age Outlaws quote. Don't judge me. I also do voices, but that is particularly voice work. If you want to hire me for a voice job, just feel free to hit me up on Twitter. I have open DMs, and as long as you are going to be honest with me and not try to screw me around, then I will have a discussion with you. There is no, like, middle ground there, but, just, you know, basically my channel mantra, don't be a dick.
He's honestly a really good person. Bean, and he listens to your issues, and like he's a really good person. Please
That's
follow
the
him.
guy
Appreciate
beans
that.
I needed. Thank you so much.
I swear to
Oh.
God, Skypaw.
I was
You-
waiting for it.
Skypaw, I swear to God, we don't need your shipping right now.
You
Anyway.
could feel it.
Why
in
do
the
you
air.
really have to ship right now?
Anyway. All right. Buttons, do you want to do your outro first, and then I can go ahead and do mine for my channel?
Oh yeah, thank you everybody so much for coming to my stream. It's been wonderful. Been very supportive and kind. Sorry for those of you who came late. I apologize for the stream this time, but I will be sure to keep you posted on when I actually post. And like I always say, let's continue to inspire each other.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Ichadab. Be sure to remember to come in and join me for Citrus Quest. Remember, open platform. And always keep in mind, it doesn't matter what flavor you are, you belong. And I will see you guys next time.